people just don't get it. We're trying our ever most best here. I have questions about my young sons. This is again, call Rachel again, another part of that. Just remember that the youth of today have very serious adrenal and kidney problems. Very serious. In school, I'm going to have blood reports for you. We're going to go over and I'm going to teach you how to read blood reports. We're going to really get more. This class is going to be a lot more about you as a practitioner. Now, even though that if you might come, you might not want to be a practitioner, it is very valuable for you anyway. But I want to get more in this class. So many of you are getting fed a lot here that I want to really turn this to more practitioners and what you'd be doing and involved and how to read blood work and how to take blood pressures and stuff. That's going to be trippy with so many people in terms of blood pressures, but we'll see how we work on that side of it. But definitely blood workup, we need to learn how to look at that and the kidney function and things, so I'll give you a lot of insights with that. Maybe we'll do a whole day of virology this time. Generally, I like to cut through the chase. I'm one of those guys that just cuts off the fat of things. Why waste our time? I have no time in my life, zero. So whenever I can cut the fat off of something, let me do it. No sense wasting time on things that are frivolous. Who else uses the word frivolous? Anybody know? The IRS. They love to use the word frivolous against us, when in reality, they're the ones that are frivolous. Those are the ones that are doing the do here. So I just talked to a YouTuber who had a lot of trouble with the IRS. Poor thing, they're ripping her off bad. It's like, you guys will see why I'm fighting that fight too. Oh, this is neat. URNEMESIS. Your nemesis. 108. Dr. Morse, don't let the trolls all. Thanks, man. I appreciate your thought on that. And that's the way I am. You eat your algae, you do whatever you want, a glandular if you need it. You don't sweat the big stuff. Don't freak out. These are bodies. It's a physical world. This actually has very little reality to it. It's whatever reality you make it. And sometimes we get into these areas and we just, we weird out on things that maybe we shouldn't have in the moment, or we go through ups and downs, and detox has it that way. Some days you're just not in good mood, and sometimes you lay that on others around you. But we're all here in a love bond, and I want to keep that. Obviously, I'm not here to hurt anybody in any way, shape, or form. We want everybody to get well. We really want the world to get well, both in consciousness and in their bodies. So this is a process where we all need to work together, and I think we're doing a really good job of it. I really do. I'm proud of each and every one of you guys. Thank you, MXIPTIX. Thank you. I love you too, dear one. Thank you. Thanks. This is 1Diva3SI. Thank you very much for that. I want to read this more. This is about donations and stuff. Thanks for that. Yeah, exactly. This is a good one from White Wolf, and I love your name, White Wolf 1088. I love that's a beautiful name, man, White Wolf. And there is no, I like this. There is no wrong path, and that's the thing. I sometimes even find myself using that word. In reality, there is nothing. It just is. And I think a lot of these higher souls, you guys are definitely, you younger people are definitely higher souls. I mean, we all are on this channel. You would not be able to recognize this level if you weren't more of an awakened soul in yourself, and you might not realize that. I know a lot of people are a lot more aware than they give their... Yeah, thanks for all that, guys. I love your comments here and appreciate all your help, all of you guys here. I think you get a good sense that we're all about loving each other and helping each other, and I don't think any of us want to really lead anyone astray. We just want everybody to get well, and that's my only reason here, spiritually the most. And I'll do more spiritual videos. Sometimes it's, I'm just trying to intertwine that with this message here, so it's kind of all fit together instead of doing separate. Because sometimes I'm like White Wolf here. It's like there's just nothing to say. It just is. And And I always go by the premise of stop thinking, stop talking, and there's nothing you won't know. And I just love that. Phoebe Quantz told me that years ago. Stop thinking, stop talking, and there's nothing you won't know. And it is so true, is that if we just start relaxing and get off of these little journeys and just start spending time in the now and with yourself and just observing things, the response and the growth is so much more tremendous. But you'll reach a certain stage. When I first got into looking at the heavens as opposed to looking so much in the physical world, and again, it's all about your focus. You change your focus, you start seeing more of something new that you weren't looking at before. And it's the same thing with God. You just start looking at and thinking more, how was the heavens designed? How was creation designed? You start putting more attention on more etheric things as opposed to more physical things. And that's all it is. And then after you start moving your attention around from one writing to another, other beings that have made these journeys and written about them, as you start looking at that, you must start taking on the journey yourself, like what we talked about wearing the robe here. It's enough to learn about your lymph and learn about your blood, and you learn about detox and all that. It's another to strap on that robe, as you're finding. So many of you started strapping on the robe. You were a little scared, but you put that robe on, and now you're busting down the road. And so many of you that were in pain are out of pain now. I'm just so proud of you guys. You hung in there. You rode the storm. And so that makes fantastic healers. And that makes a knowledge and an awareness that you can't pay for or trade. You don't have to go reading a bunch of books. I'm cutting that out of your life to where you don't have to spend all that time. And now you're freed up to be and to heal people simplistically, and you get to keep your life. If not, you get trapped in the workings of the mind. Confusion can set in, and we've seen some on YouTube, haven't we, where confusion set in. We thought they were going to take off and be powerful healers, but they started reading. They started getting out, the mind started kicking in and using the but word. And the but word is not a word you use when you're living in the now. Or, these are not words you use in the now. You're in the now, and it just is. There's nothing else. It just is. And it's hard to get ourselves out of the thinking processes of the mind because our academic focus on this planet is more mental than it is spiritual. And in the inner worlds, or some of the God worlds, your focus is spiritual, then the particular art of that level you're at. So it's just a little different. Thanks so much, all of you guys, from White Wolf to Lambie Poo Vegan. I like that one. Observer X10. Thank you all for your love and support here. I appreciate that. We get some people sometimes that just get a little out of balance and they just go over a little bit. This is just from one person rambling on, and so I have to run there. So I think that I have to spend several hours with you this week. I've been so busy. We've had different things going on. Here's a panic disorder here. My husband suffers from panic disorder. He's been dealing with this for almost 20 years now. Wow. Right now he is on medication to control it, of course. That's the adrenal glands. You could have neurotoxins involved. There's some good questions in here. I can't wait to get into your questions here. This looks like I can feel it already. Woo, you guys are hot. Woo! This man, go after his adrenal glands, detoxify him in case he has neurotoxins, suppressing his adrenals and his nervous system anymore, which makes for more panic attacks. So you really want to get that body detoxed of neurotoxins, get the adrenals up. That's where the autonomic, clean up the gut. The autonomic's hooked to the bowel, the stomach here, and the solar plexus, that xiphoid process. All of this is the autonomic. Clean that out, clean your bowels out, and your husband should be good, and work that right out of him, because he's on a no-brainer path using these medications for that. Suffer from vertigo attacks. Okay, vertigo attacks. That's right here in the cerebellum. The cerebellum gives you the vertigo, the dizziness when you get up too fast, the equilibrium problems. So what that says is that his lymph system is backed up into his head area. Might have his tonsils removed or might not. Makes it worse without the tonsils, of course. It's a form of lymphedema, but right up in this area, in the head area, and dizzy. There you go, dizzy spells. So he's got to get those kidneys and adrenals. His adrenals are so down, his kidneys aren't filtering the lymph system. The lymph system's backing up, and my guess he's got some tight necks and shoulders sometimes. Sleep is pivotal for him, but he doesn't often get enough. So we're up here. It wouldn't be a stretch to say we're all here. And then, of course, there's the pineal gland where you're supposed to rest. So you can use a pineal glandular, but if we go to melatonin, see, here's the difference in this way. If we use melatonin, then you'll lose your pineal gland. But if we use a pineal glandular, you will pop that pineal up. And if not, I don't know what herbs. We don't know what all the herbs are for, and which herbs are for glands. We do know the berries are definitely all the glands, but specific, there's a lot of things we don't know there. Is there anything? Yes, there's a lot we can do there, my dear. This is Minimo Mist. They give me a tongue twister here. Minimo Mist. But absolutely, definitely fix your man up there, dear one. Get his lymph system cleaned up. That means getting into when I say clean up the lymph system, kidneys and adrenals. Always at the core of that with the lymph formulas. Clean up the GI tract. If you just do that, you have a lot. But he's got stuff going on up in here. So you got to clean the bowels and everything to drain the brain out. This will get the lymph out, to get the inflammation out, the acids out, and then everything will restore. His dizziness and equilibrium will go away. He will get strong. His panic attacks will leave him, and he's in good shape. So that's a way you can go with that one. So thank you so much. I could go crazy here. So I got to run now, but I will see you soon. And you all have a beautiful day and enjoy the ever-presence of the Supreme Being. And I love you all. Bye-bye.